Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, you guys, is a very special one. I want to emphasize that I never ask you guys to like share my videos or like get other people to subscribe to my channel and stuff like that. But for today's video specifically, I want you to share this video with every person who you know who's a shopaholic or who is someone that just enjoys shopping in general, because I think there is a shopaholic inside every one of us. I think there is every person has something that they love to splurge on. It could be clothes, it could be makeup, it could be shoes, it could be any category of products, it could be perfume, it could be literally anything that a person likes to how do I say, indulge in, like have a collection of, buy multiple, etc. And this video is for all of those people to watch, because I feel like in today's day and age, products are pushed so much on us that we need to know where to draw the line and to know not to overindulge in something or buy too much or buy more than your means. And this is something I'm guilty of myself, so I think that's why since the past couple of years I've been working on it, and I finally feel like I have found like a set of rules, or not rules essentially, but a certain set of things which, if you keep in mind, it would probably help you in reducing your consumption as much as possible. And of course, we're not talking about like not buying things that you need. We're talking about avoiding buying things that you just want, but it's not a need for you, So any which ways, let's jump into it. But before that, if you find this video helpful, then please make sure to share it with as many people as you can. And I want this video for a change. I mean, I want all my videos to do well, but this video specifically, I wanted to do well, in the sense that I want as many views as I possibly can, because that way the message would reach to as many people as possible. So anyway, I think I've explained myself enough. Let's get into it and let's talk about kind of the 5-step guide that I think would help you get out of the shopaholic mindset. So yes, let's get into it and let's get started. The first tip for this, like, I think that is one of the most important thing, which I feel like this is also coming from a personal place. I feel like I have made a change in this specific category as well, and that is make sure that whenever you're spending money and buying things, you're not spending other people's money, but you're spending your own money. And this is something my mom used to always tell me, that once you start earning, you will realize the value of money. And I think that now that I finally started earning, and I can confidently say that for the past 2 years, I have not taken a single rupee from either of my parents. I do all my expenses on my own from my salary, and I try to of course contribute to the household as well, to like our common expenses. But apart from that, I don't take any money from my parents. And initially, when I was in college and I would want to indulge in beauty products, I would either have my mom pay for it or my dad pay for it. It was occasionally my dad, but mostly my mom. And I felt like I used to spend more without thinking back then versus now. Now I feel like I control my expenses, because I know कि मेरे पैसे जा रहे हैं. तो if my salary is say X amount, उसमें से जो मेरे essentials में जाता है, like my travel expenses, eating expenses, like basic stuff that I pay for, which is not much, उसके अलावा whatever amount is left, that is the only money that I can essentially spend on beauty products. And of course that has changed now, because now I'm also trying to save and to start SIP and like all of that. So वो भी deduct होता है मेरे income में से. So now I have less disposable income, which means that I automatically have less money to spend on beauty products. And that's kind of how I think about it. So if you are someone who's younger than me and you live off pocket money, तो try करो कि जितने तुमको pocket money मिलती है, just keep it in mind that that is the only money that you have. You should not ask your parents for money beyond that, and that way you can kind of curb your shopping habits. And if you are someone who again like me, if you have your own income that you spend on things, but maybe your friends might occasionally ask you ki acha, we want to gift you something, and what do you want, like there are times when as an adult we don't buy gifts for people बस ऐसे ही मतलब खुद के मन से. We might ask them कि अच्छा what do you want, is there something on your wish list that I can buy you. Those are times when you can maybe think about splurging, but even in those situations I tend to ask for essentials. I'll ask them कि अच्छा you can maybe get me a Nike gift card which I can use for my next purchase, and I think about it like that even if it's someone else's money, I don't want to spend frivolously basically. But yeah, that's my first pointer, because I think this is something my mom used to tell me and I used to not believe it, but now I do. And that is, when you are spending your own money versus someone else's money, तुमको पैसे की कीमत like अपने आप समझ में आ जाती है. So yeah, that is the first point basically. The second point is that either you should start doing a project plan if we're talking about beauty products over here, or you should do an inventory. So whatever category of products you feel like you tend to indulge too much in and buy too much of, do an inventory and see what you actually have in your collection. Now, to give you a couple of examples, if we're talking about clothes over here, and if you are someone who tends to buy a lot of clothes, do an inventory in the sense, categorize your clothing items and see how many tops do I have, how many jeans do I have, how many trousers do I have, how many kurtis do I have, how many sarees do I have, whatever category it be. And I feel like this is something that I've also done, and kind of realized that I have like enough clothes to last an entire month at least. What that means is, if I'm wearing a different top every single day, I can easily last a month, even 1.5 months, without repeating any of my outfits. And I'm not even counting my kurtas, I'm just talking about like tops. I have way more than, like, I think I want to say I have 30 to 40. मैंने exactly count नहीं किया है, but I'm telling you like real numbers. I have 30 to 40 tops in my collection, which means I can last a good 1.5 months without repeating any of my outfits. That is good enough for anyone. I feel like even if you have like 7 to 10, you can still easily last without repeating your outfits for a week, 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks again you can start your rotation again. Similarly, when it comes to makeup or beauty products, if you do an inventory, you actually get to know how many you have in your collection. And if you do a project plan, you will actually realize how long it takes to use up beauty products, and then you will automatically gravitate to buying that specific category less. Like if you feel like it is very hard for you to use up a lipstick, you will automatically realize that you need to stop buying lipsticks because you have enough in your collection to last you a long time. I feel that way similarly for blush. I did not buy blushes for a long time because I realized how long it's taking for me to use up blushes, and now I've added more to my collection because I've kind of got an estimate that if I'm using blush every day, how long is it going to take for me to use up a certain blush. So I have to think about it like that. Whereas lipsticks, I feel a little bit more confident about buying more, because I realize कि नहीं, एक साल में तो I tend to use up at least 5 to 6 lip products. So if I'm buying maybe 2 in a year or 3 in a year, it's not a bad thing. Of course, I tend to buy more than 2 or 3, but I also make sure to declutter the ones that I'm not using. So that way my collection is in check, basically. So a project plan or an inventory is a really helpful way to gauging how long it takes for you to go through something, or how many you have in your collection, and that way you will not tend to buy as many. Moving on to the next point, this is something that again it's kind of similar to the same point, but it's different. So my third point is that you should evaluate to see if you already have something in your collection that can do the same thing for you. Now, for example, if you have one nude lipstick in your collection, do you need another one? And I am not talking about like different shades of nude. I'm talking about like for example, if you have one warm toned nude that is mid-tone, not too dark, not too light, that's pretty versatile. And then you don't need to have another lipstick in a different formulation that is kind of a similar shade. Like you don't need to have a liquid lipstick and a lip crayon and a bullet lipstick all in the same shade. Similarly, if you have one shampoo in your collection, do you need to buy another shampoo? Probably not, because you will either use one shampoo or the other. You're not going to use both of them together, right? Unless and until you're double cleansing your scalp. Similarly, if you already have a makeup remover in your collection, do you need another makeup remover? Or if you have a face wash in your collection and you are going to only wash your face twice in a day, so how many face washes do you really need to have? So thinking about that, jeans, or like you can take any example for this matter, if you feel like there is a product that's not adding value to your collection in any way, do you really need to have it? You know, that's something very, very important to consider, and it's a very basic thing, but this is something that can truly help you save money a lot of times, especially when like the sales are very exciting and you feel like, अरे नहीं ये भी चाहिए वो भी चाहिए ये भी लेना है वो भी लेना है, but then I'll be like, नहीं, but I already have an AHA serum and I already have a face wash and I already have a sunscreen, so do I really need to buy more? And then I'm like, no, maybe I should just hold back for a little longer, use up what I have, and then I can buy more. So yeah, that way you can at least delay your purchases, if not completely avoid them, and that's good enough. To be very, very honest and candid with you, that is good enough. No one's telling you to not buy something that you know, have, like, you don't need to stop purchasing things completely. I'm not telling you to not buy beauty products, not buy clothes at all. I'm just telling you, you don't need to buy them right now. You can buy them after 2 months, you can buy them after 6 months, because of course, like, the clothes that you have in your collection, they're eventually going to like get worn out, so then you can go ahead and buy more. No one's telling you not to. I'm just telling you, you don't need to buy them right now. Anyway, let's move on to the next point, which is think about the actual value of this thing and whether it's going to, like, is it necessary, basically is going to be the next thing that you should think about. And this would okay, so let me give you a couple of examples. So for example, SPF lip balms are very, very popular right now, but do I need to personally buy any SPF lip balms? No, because I'm not a lip balm wearer, and even though I would like to ideally have SPF to protect my lips, but it's not necessary for me to have, because I'm not going to actually find a use for it. I wear lipstick every single day of my life, and I am not someone who likes to put lip balm underneath lipstick, because I feel like that actually affects the wear time of your lipstick and it will wear out pretty often. So then you'll have to make sure to reapply your lipstick, which generally most of the time doesn't happen to me. I don't need to reapply my lipstick, so for me to buy an SPF lip balm is not necessary. Similarly, something like a hydrating toner, I don't use those anymore. They don't serve a purpose for me. So no matter how appealing or enticing a new hydrating toner is, I don't need to buy it. What else can I tell you? Tinted face products, like tinted moisturizers, do I use them? No. Do I need to buy one if there's a new one that launches in the market? No. A lot of products, while they might seem very, very appealing, they don't actually serve a purpose for everyone's collection. And while someone else might love to buy a tinted lip balm because they love to wear like slightly tinted products, that doesn't mean that I need to also have that specific category of products. So if a new lipstick is going to launch in the market, and if it is a shade or a tone that is unique to my collection, will I buy it? Probably. But am I going to buy it right now? Probably not. Maybe after a couple of months, but I don't need to buy it right away, you know. So that's another point that we all need to consider, is what serves a value in our collection. That's something that, you know, actually would end up, you know, kind of turning your mindset around when it comes to consumerism. And I think the last point, which I already covered in my I was supposed to mention this later, but wo flow mein nikal gaya, and that is again to delay the purchase. The fifth one is probably something that it intermingles with every other point that I mentioned previously, and that is to delay the purchase. And this also applies a lot of times to buying backups. and I feel like this is something I probably, the other 4 points जो इसके पहले के हैं, I've mastered those, but when it comes to the 5th point, this is something that I am also working on simultaneously. So just because I'm telling you to delay the purchase, don't think कि हाँ मतलब ये तो बहुत ही अच्छे से करती है, नहीं. I'm also struggling with this quite a bit, and especially when it comes to buying backups. This is something, actually, you know what, I should probably add a 6th point also over here about buying backups, but let me explain to you both the things kind of simultaneously so you will understand what I struggle with personally. So when it comes to my favorite products like my foxtail retinol or my Dot & Key barrier repair cream, or like for example if there's a face wash that I really love, a lot of things I tend to you know, whenever I see a sale, whenever I see that my favorite product is on sale and it's 50% off, or it's buy one get one or whatever, I tend to buy backups without thinking that I already have either the same product, like, you know, I mentioned the 3rd point, right, where if you already have something in your collection that serves the same purpose, it's the same thing. If I'm trying out a new night cream and I have recently finished up the Dot & Key one, I can test out the new night cream, use it. If I think it's usable enough, I can continue to use that before thinking ki acha, I need to buy a backup again of the Dot & Key cream. So when I see the Dot & Key cream is on sale, I will make sure to repurchase it immediately and buy multiple backups without thinking कि जो सेल अभी आया है वो सेल वापस 2 महीने के बाद आने वाला है. ऐसा नहीं है कि the product is never going to go on sale again, unless and until if, you know, there are certain brands that do their sales only once in a year or maybe twice in a year. That's a different thing, but a lot of brands do their buy one get one sales more often these days. So I don't need to buy 10 backups or 8 backups or 6 backups of something that I know is going to go on sale again in the next couple of months. I can buy maybe 1, maybe 2 if I feel like, you know, I don't have a lot of other products in my collection which are of the same category. But apart from that, I tend to go pretty crazy with my backups very often. It would rather make more sense to buy like 2 maybe right now, and I know that's going to last me for 2 months, and then in 2 months, once these 2 are, you know, getting over, then I can buy another 2. That is where sometimes I feel like I go a little overboard, is buying too many backups. And अगर गलती से ऐसा हो गया कि all my favorite brands are doing the sale in the same month, so then I just end up spending way more money than I would want to. And I'm kind of sharing this with you because I felt like November and December में वही हुआ है मेरे साथ. All my favorite brands went on sale basically in the same month, and I ended up spending way more money than I would have wanted to. And you know, when you party too much on a certain night and then अगले सुबह regret होता है कि why did I drink so much, or why did I eat so much of junk, or why did I, you know, party so hard. It was kind of the same feeling that I had towards the end of the year and in January as well, कि why did I spend so much money in November and December and buy so many things जो मेरे पास रखने की जगह नहीं हो, या फिर इतने सारे पैसे खर्चे कर दिए. Seeing my bill, I'm like, oh my god, why did I spend so much money. I definitely feel like some of my purchases I could have definitely delayed. Sometimes it's also about, like I mentioned in the earlier points also, is it really necessary? Like the Dr. Sheth's oil free moisturizers that I bought, I'm not going to use those until March because those are more summer appropriate products, right? So that is something I didn't have to buy in that specific Dr. Sheth's wala sale. I could have waited for Dr. Sheth's to do another sale, which I know is going to happen sometime around Republic Day, which by the way, right now I'm filming this in January. You're going to watch this video in February. So if you're wondering कि ये क्यों बोल रही Republic Day sale आने वाला है, I know it's already happened by the time you're watching this, but in present day, Republic Day sale is going to come. So I could have bought those moisturizers coming up. I could have bought maybe 2 backups of the Dot & Key moisturizers instead of buying 4. I could have not bought the Vanilla Vibes perfumes. I bought 2. I could have just bought 1. I know I bought 1 for myself, 1 for my mom and all of that, but even the cherry shower gels, instead of buying 2, I could have just bought 1. A lot of times I tend to go overboard with my favorite products and with my backups, and I can reduce the number of quantity that I'm buying, and I can also delay a lot of my purchases. So I think that is the next thing that I would be working on in 2024, and hopefully by the time 2025 comes around, I have mastered that as well. Along with that, if there are any other tips that you feel like would be helpful for anti-consumerism related purposes, then make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. And I also want to know if you can relate with me on these certain things, or if you feel like you are quite pro at this, like you don't tend to cave in too often, or you have kind of mastered how to control your urges when it comes to shopping, and how you have done that. I would love to know that in the comment section, so please feel free to share that. And that is it for this chat, that is it for the video. I feel like even though I just had 5 points, but I just kept talking and talking quite a bit and sharing all of this, so now this video is 20 minutes long, but that's okay. That is completely fine. And that is it for the video. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. And yes, this is what I wanted to chat with you about. I've been going through a lot with my hair, so yes, in this video, if my hair looked too shabby or anything, then I am really sorry about that. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you get some insight from this video as well, and would love to read your tips down below. I'm sure all of us shopaholics would love to learn some tips that would be helpful. So yes, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Until next time, bye bye.